Selesnya Rabbits versus Sakuraka. Sakurak A. Okay, we have a Mightcaller, we have an Archer. Okay, we can go from there. So this deck is definitely most afraid of sweepers. Specifically the lockdown. But a card which can kind of help get around it is the Knight. But unfortunately I wasn't able to deploy it here yet. So that's unfortunate. However, I can repopulate the board pretty nicely here. Yeah, no offspring here. Okay, the hop to it is my backup plan. So hop to it plus Knight-Errant is my backup plan. So for now, I think I'm just gonna keep attacking and keep making tokens. Alright. Actually, what I can do is this. Yeah, I don't want to overextend anymore onto this board, to be honest. Yeah, exactly for that exact reason. How can I change? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, we will take a... this and this. Oh, I didn't use the Oakhollow there. I need to get used to that. Ah, big mistake. Big mistake there from my side. I could have just hopped to it with Oakhollow to make 3 2/2s instead of 3 1/1s. So, not how it should have been played out. But the opponent is really gone down to their minimum here. Like, they've used up all their resources. Oh. Alright, for now I'm just going to attack. I know the opponent can activate the Restless Fortress, but I'm okay with that if they want to spend their whole turn. Then they are welcome to do so. So yeah, I was too focused on Hop to It plus Knight-Errant because that seemed like a cool, really good, you know, coming back plan. However, I missed the Oakhollow Village there. I did not forget about it earlier with the Warleader, but yeah, definitely that's something you need to be wary of. Let's only attack with the Knight here. Oh, but now they're just going to Fountain Port. Okay, but it's going to cost them a life. And then I can Knight again. Oh, okay. Nice. restock my hand. Alright, I'm gonna play one of these guys as well. Alright, a Beza. Well, now I'm glad I played the 7/7.
Glad to be here. Your problems are my profits. This is the least you deserve. One word.
Alright, so what are we gonna do now? Now I can't get through, so I'm gonna have to play all my guys. I'm gonna have to put it all on the table here now. Alright, can they sweep or not? That's the question. Okay, they got Kedamos. Not there yet, but very close. Very, very close. I'm gonna have to do a full-on attack next turn. And they're gonna... No, Kedamos can't attack or block yet. Okay.
No victim goes unavenged.
Alright. Well, full-on attack it is. Full-on face. Yeah, thanks to Trample for the Burrowguard Mentors. I think this should be... Yeah, exactly. Trample. Trample doing its thing here. So it was close. The opponent was close to stabilizing. Well, thanks to the Trample, their stabilizing efforts would have been more difficult. As soon as Ketramos would have been active, Lifelink would have started to kick in. This thing could have exiled one of my mentors next turn. And they could draw into a sweeper anytime. So I had to already deal with one sweeper. But yeah, nice. Rabbits. Selesnya Rabbits. Still getting the hang of this. This deck, I've played it back when Bloomborough came out. I played it maybe one or two times. Not much since then. But now, with Mono Red gone, you know, this is kind of the new aggro deck in the meta. And I would like to give it a swirl. So this is a good start to today's run. Let's see what the next games bring to the table. Selesnya Rabbits. Oh, let me get some water. I've been just going one game after the other here. So, Selesnya Rabbits versus the Mighty Kill. What do we have? I have a Plains, which I really need here. Alright, good. No turn 2 play, unfortunately. But, okay, let's kick it off with the Warrenguard. Oh, that was pretty good. Next, I'm going to drop the Evangelist, and then I think I'm going to keep it at that, because I don't want to overextend too much. Oh, maybe I do. The opponent... Oh, I do. Against that deck, I do want to overextend. Okay, what's the options here? Let's go for this. Yeah, I need to end this immediately. I need to end this before the opponent can do any sort of reanimation. The tough choice if I were the opponent. This one is out of reach, of course, because it's 4. This one will grow with the token. Alright, good. Warleader. Attack. Give everybody +1/+1 until end of turn. And win. Okay! Wow, yeah. That's how you beat. So that's how you beat the reanimation deck. Now, obviously, I wasn't the play. If the opponent were on the play, it would have been a different situation, right? Because they would have already been able to reanimate Galta or the Cornosaur. So that's why I was saying against that deck, the reanimation deck, there's no sweepers or temporary lockdown. So you just throw it all out. You need to beat down as fast as possible. And this was just enough, honestly. I mean, the opponent, if they had reanimated, depending on how many creatures they would have dropped down, and if or not they had reach or something, the bat would have been potentially maybe been able to close it off. But once they do that, once they reanimate, things get out of control very quickly. So that's why. Yeah, just a victory just in time for Azorius Rabbits. Thanks to the Evangelist and the Warleader here specifically. Pumping the team and, yeah, pushing in a lot of damage on turn 4 here. Alright, on to the next game. Selesnya Rabbits versus the Mighty Hemaya. Okay, that's a lot of lands. More than I like to have. But there's 2 utility lands here, so let's give it a shot. That was not good, but... Alright. Alright, so the opponent is probably the Roots deck. Oh, no, they also... No, okay. And I have a slow start here as well. Alright, let's drop everything. I don't think I need to be... It's another reanimation deck, so I don't think I need to be too afraid of sweepers. Okay, so here comes Arden. Okay. No blocks. Oh god. Okay. What? That's insane. Sorry for the F word, but I said what the frick. What the frick. That's what on earth is going on. I've never seen this happen. What the? Oh my god. Okay, what am I gonna do here? This. Yeah, they have deployed more cards on the battlefield in one go than I could ever do. So yeah, GG. This is GG. But I'm happy to have witnessed that. That's something interesting. Codis the Fang Keeper, huh? That's such an incredible... okay, what? Why is it a 5/5 though? That's what really changes things here. Ah, okay, so it's thanks to Arden. Alright, got it. Okay, well, this is a loss. On to the next game. Selesnya Rabbits versus the Virtuous Dewazemut. Alright, I don't really like 4 lands too much, but if I mulligan, you know, I might get even less or something worse, so 3 action cards is okay. Alright, the opponent is, I think that's the Yuna deck. Which depends, so the success of that deck depends very much on if they draw into Yuna or not. I can now... Next one, I'm going to play the Pawpatch next. With Offspring, of course, so that I get so that I get the token, so that my Warrenguard will increase in size. Alright, well, that's good news for me, honestly. The opponent stocking up here is probably, yeah, one of the better things that could happen. Do they have any enchantments? They don't have... I mean, they have this, so that's a 4/4. So I need to get big. How am I gonna get big? I could make a big war. I'm gonna prepare with this thing. Should I also add a Pawpatch here? Like, no. For now, I'm gonna attack like this. Put the opponent to 11. Make them have it. Make them have Yuna or something bigger or other, or a lockdown or something of the sorts. Okay, I think that means GG, right? Like, oh no, okay, summon Esper Maduin. Still, I think this is GG no matter what. The Warleader. They can block something, but 4, 7, yeah, this is lethal. Even if they block the biggest thing, it's 7, 10 plus 3, exactly 13 damage. So once again, going exactly for the needed, required amount of damage here. And that's what happens when you don't have, if you're playing an aggro deck without Monstrous Rage, then you do have to fight real hard to get in the final points of damage. And you cannot just pump a creature and give it trample and push damage through that way. So yeah. So this deck seems to just drop everything on the board, pressure up the opponent, and you can't really do much more than hope to defeat, to dodge sweepers, or at least try and keep... you can keep 1 or 2 cards back. But generally, you just drop it all down and turn them sideways. On to the next game. Selesnya Rabbits versus the Virtuous COVID-19. Okay, I gotta eradicate you, my friend. This is a keep. I'm going to have to start with the Pawpatch here. I can't afford to just wait and offspring that. Sometimes you just have to take the risk of them having the 1 mana removal spell. Okay, they got the Mightcaller. I see. Can I have... Yeah, I'm gonna attack here. I'll trade. Okay, they don't want to trade. Okay, they're gonna attack. I'm not gonna trade. Alright, so what do I... Whenever this attacks, put a... Okay. Okay. So... Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna offer the trade here because I'm gonna be able to put a lot of +1/+1s here. And I even drew the card from that too. And they didn't... Okay, they didn't trade. So I think... I'm not sure if they can get back from this. Okay, a Questcaller is not too bad. But next turn I'm gonna Warren Warleader, and I think that's gonna take over the game. Okay, now they're going on the defensive here. But I think with both these triggers, I think it's going to be too much. Very careful here to use the right trigger. So they're trading 2 cards here. And I'm still getting in for 12, so... Oh! Even 13. Alright, again! Putting the opponent to exactly 0. Ha! Wow, this seems to be the mantra of this deck, or at least the of this run today here. Again, dealing exactly the required amount of damage. Now, of course, I don't see how the opponent would have come back from this, even if I had left them at like 5 life. I mean, my board is just bigger and better. So, but of course, here going first was key here again, especially in the mirror. It's a race to damage. Who can deal the most damage as early, as quickly as possible. All right, on to the next game. Selesnya Rabbits versus the ambitious Lope. Yeah, I'll keep this one. Yeah, that's the best answer they can have to that creature. Especially if they have it on turn 1. Now the question is going to be, do they have Kaido or not? Do they have Kaido or not? If they do, then this is going to be ugly. So yeah, that cut down was key for the opponent. But let's still try to make the board wide. Should I hop to it or should I not hop to it? If I hop to it, I cannot convoke immediately. But I think it's the most mana efficient thing, and it also grows my Burrowguard Mentor the most. Yeah, I think that was the right play. But I missed on the Oakhollow Village trigger, but you can't always wait for that, right? So sometimes you just have to... Oh, that hurts much too. I'm gonna go for these two. And I should have done it in the other order to get a scry here, but it's fine. Let's attack with these. This guy. And let's convoke. Alright, so yeah, it's up to the opponent. Can they kill me now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. I don't think they can. And if they don't have a sweeper, then this game is over. Now, I'm sorry for the fast play. I should have played the... when I played the Mentor and the Caller in one turn, I should have done it the other way around. So I missed one scry here. But on the other hand, the Knight-Errant... No, that was... Yeah, that was the same turn. So the Knight-Errant would have made that scry... Negligible. Sometimes I need to practice my English here as well. Alright, draw. Is it enough? I don't think it is, especially when with my Warleader coming down. Now it could be closer, but still. Warleader times... Okay, no, there's no offspring, but still. Yeah, +1/+1. Yeah, I think it's gonna be it's gonna be the same thing again. It's gonna be the same thing again. Exactly lethal. Exactly 9. Exactly what's needed. Yep. Wow. This is this has been a run. This has been a run. Dealing exactly the exact amount damage required. Now on the hit back though, the opponent could have dealt 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this is untapped, so I would have been able to block that. So I was still not there yet, but I mean, look at this. The opponent's hand, they could have drawn into some useful things. But yeah, if the opponent, so this deck really punishes any deck that isn't running sweepers basically, because this deck just goes wide fast and deals a lot of damage while doing so. The Warleader really key here in closing out the games and making your small creatures big. So yeah, and then the Questcaller as well. Everything gets +1/+1. So yeah, this was one hell of a rabbit run here. And Frog, you should never forget about the Frog. Where is the Frog? He's not here at the moment, but there's one Frog in the deck, and one human, and one vampire even. So it's not all rabbits. All right, let's head over to the recap. All right, welcome to the recap of this Selesnya Rabbits deck. So this deck is pretty much streamlined. There is a few things to mention about this deck. So one thing I would mention is that this deck is the game plan is very simple. It's almost even simpler than playing mono red, because you don't have to consider like things like when to pump or if they respond to your pump or whatever. I mean, it's still there's things to consider, of course, as with any Magic deck and any Magic game. But your creatures are more kind of static. You play them, and then you just, you calculate how much power and toughness there's going to be. Of course, there's a few triggers, and you get a few counters, but yeah, there's no combat tricks. There's no instants. There is not a single instant or sorcery. Wait, there is a sorcery. Hop to it, but there's no instance, so there's no instant interaction that you have. You also don't have any way to deal with any problematic permanent that the opponent puts on the table. Now, how do you deal with those? You don't. You just deal with the opponent's face and get them to 0 as fast as you can. Against decks where you know that they might be running sweepers, specifically, mainly Azorius control and sometimes Dimir control or sometimes Orzhov control. So basically anything which could run, anything that runs white based could have Lockdown or Sweepers, Sunfall or the Supreme Verdict. No, not Supreme Verdict, the other one. The 4-mana Sweeper. And black-based decks could run the Black Sweeper. What is it called? I'm so forgetful lately. Let me check real quick. I really want to know. Day of Judgment and Deadly Cover-Up. There you go. Wow, these names. Okay, so yeah, if you're up against a deck that has those two cards or Lockdown, then you may want to keep one or two threats back in your hand to repopulate the board. A good option is Hop to It plus Knight, because the 3 rabbits are actually kind of free because you can use them to immediately convoke the Knight. So that's really a good play. But okay, if you're not facing that deck with sweepers, then all you do is drop everything on the board and attack. The Pawpatch Recruit is your protection against spot removal, and it's super good at doing it. It's the most annoying thing to deal with if you're the opponents. If you have more creatures on the board, targeting anything is a nightmare because everything will grow, and being able to offspring this on turn 3 is pretty strong too. But it often also just acts as your turn 1 play as a 1-mana 2/1 that's already pretty good. So that's something to keep in mind. The Warrenguard is there to just be a rabbit, and also a lot of token creators here. So the Warren Warleader, the Sanguine Evangelist, the Pawpatch Recruit, and the Hop to It all create tokens. So you will have quite a few ways to create tokens, and they make the Warrenguard pretty strong. So a 1-mana 3/2 is also nothing to scoff at. And then there's the Frog. The Frog is here, yeah, this is the best 1-drop in the deck, because every single rabbit you play following this one will grow this guy, and it has Trample, which is another thing. The Mightcaller and the Burrowguard Mentor, also very key cards. The Burrowguard Mentor is usually a 2-mana 2/2 3/3 4/4 or up to 10/10, and it has Trample, as does the Mightcaller. So Trample is a keyword that is very important and is sometimes exactly what you need to push through the last points of damage. The Questcaller is your Overlord. It gives everybody +1/+1. And whenever a rabbit enters, you scry, which is just an added bonus and can get, smoothen out your next draw a little bit here and there. Finneas is a cheap creature for 2 mana, Vigilance Reach. That's nice to have. The problem with Finneas is that it's difficult it doesn't grow on its own. So attacking with it, if the opponent has creatures that can block, Finneas will be the first to take the hit. But his trigger is very good, because even one single attack will put counters on all of your rabbits. So it even puts a counter on your bat token from the Evangelist. So it's the effect here that really makes the difference. And then when you have 10 or more power, you even draw a card. Hop to It is a great way to repopulate the board and works very well with Oakhollow Village. So that's a combination of cards that you really need to keep an eye on, because the Oakhollow Village basically you spend an extra 2 mana, but you double the size of the amount of power and toughness that you are creating. The Evangelist is there to as a kind of anthem effect to increase when you attack. You just give everybody +1/+0, which with a lot of tokens can make a big difference. And the same goes for the Warleader. If you have a big board, you give everybody +1/+1. If you have a small board, you can use them to populate more creatures. Populate more rabbits that are actually also tapped and attacking, which is quite nice. And the Knight is there because it fits very well in the deck, despite not being a rabbit. But it's, yeah, whenever you have a wide board, this guy is very useful to, to draw 2 cards. So it's a 4/4 for usually less than, it costs like 2 mana plus a few tapped creatures, which hopefully are summoning sickness anyway. And then you get a 4/4, and you usually get 2 cards as well. So this is a great way to, on turn 3 or 4, to, add a bigger creature to the board with more base stats, and then also draw 2 cards to keep the momentum going, to keep the pressure on. Cavern of Souls against any potential decks that have counter magic. Oakhollow Village, amazing, made exactly for this deck. Almost, it feels like, able to give every creature you play, just make it a 1/1 bigger. And Lupinflower Village is just a one-off utility land, which can help you dig for things in case you flood out on lands a little bit. This might just barely, slightly even out that as well. All right. So the deck, yeah, as I said, put them down, turn them sideways, and put on as much pressure as you can. But yeah, so not much really else to say. It was, it's fun to play, I must say. I like the theme, I like the rabbits. There are some interesting interactions, so it's not just a dumb aggro deck, let's say. There is still, or there is always a lot of thought that you need to put into every single turn, which card to play, in which order, etc. But yeah, so if you want to beat the opponent before they actually get to do their thing, then maybe rabbits is the way to go. Alright, but without further ado, thanks for watching, have fun, see you in the arena, and peace.